Why are we here? What is it we're seeking to achieve? We're here to break barriers because free people are capable of extraordinary things. This isn't just theory, it's history. For thousands of years, the human experience was full of misery, death, disease, abject poverty. Across the world, ruling classes controlled everyone else. They put up barriers that blocked progress in nearly all aspects of life. But then a series of events converged that started to liberate the masses. When Gutenberg invented the printing press in 1440, it gave people access to information and greater opportunities to think for themselves. William Tyndale translated the Bible from Latin, the language of the elites, into English. Those in power burned him at the stake for this act. But he succeeded in enabling far more people to be able to interpret religion for themselves. This created the conditions for the Reformation. New ideas began to take root. People like Galileo and Newton challenged authorities, which led to unprecedented scientific breakthroughs and progress for society. Events like this paved the way for the Dutch Golden Age. The Dutch created a relatively tolerant society for their time, and barriers continued to crumble. People like John Locke, Descartes, and thousands of religious refugees made it their home. Holland grew into a flourishing marketplace of ideas. In addition to scientific progress, like the invention of the microscope, economic progress was encouraged by the protection of private property rights. More people had more freedom, and for the first time ever, merchants, artisans, and working people were respected and rewarded for their work. Trade exploded, and Holland became the most prosperous country in the world. And finally, in the 18th century, the liberalism that led to Holland's wealth began to spread to other countries. In America, the ideals of a free society were reflected in the Declaration of Independence. It articulated a vision for a society where citizens would be treated equally under the law and provided the freedom to flourish. What ensued has been a period of unprecedented worldwide growth, known as the Great Enrichment, depicted here as a hockey stick of human progress. By some measures, Americans' standard of living has risen by close to 3,000% over the last 2 centuries alone. This shows what happens when barriers are removed. Ideas can flow, and people can have the freedom to innovate, succeed, and drive progress. But sadly, not all people have gained that freedom. Since our founding, the promise of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness has not been equally applied to everyone. African Americans and Native Americans were given no rights. Women and immigrants were only given partial rights, and certain religious groups were persecuted, just to name a few. Through our history, it's taken courageous individuals who built inspiring movements of millions of people to break these barriers, one by one. From the abolitionist movement, to the women's rights movement, to the civil rights movement. These movements have helped our country move closer to the ideals of the Declaration of Independence. But we have a ways to go. Today, our society continues to be plagued by a rigged system of cronyism, dependency, and control. We have a two-tiered society that creates welfare for the wealthy and crushes opportunities for the disadvantaged. The barriers this system has created make it nearly impossible for many Americans to learn, contribute, and succeed. It's the injustice of our time, and it has to stop. By partnering with an ever-growing coalition of collaborators from all walks of life, we can truly become a movement of millions that drives societal transformation. This will bring about a system of equal rights and mutual benefit, where people are motivated to help one another. This will not be easy, but what we face is nothing compared to what our historical counterparts faced before us. Their stories prove that dedicated, courageous individuals uniting together with shared principles and a common vision can break barriers. And when they do, free people will achieve extraordinary things. That, in my opinion, is why we're here. And that's what we're trying to achieve.